What should we do next? After all, Skibidi Toilet is collapsing before our eyes. Seeing everything that is happening with the series right now, I just want to take my things and leave, but that would be a critical mistake. We have already done a lot, but not everything. For example, the opinion of the majority of viewers is now known almost everywhere. In the comments, thousands of people are demanding that DafuqBoom return to creating episodes, and popular YouTubers continue to express their opinions regardless of their contracts. Today, I found a lot of interesting information on the internet, which I will share with you today. But before we start, don't forget to like the video, as this helps to promote it, and I also ask you to subscribe to the channel because unfortunately, most people watch without subscribing. We are very close to reaching our goal of 100,000 subscribers. If we give up, we will soon see episode 80 in this form. Another advertisement for the Hunter toy appeared on Skibidi. I don't know why they are promoting this particular toy so much, but that's not what concerns us. As we can see, if I'm not mistaken, the background of the ad is made in SFM, and we can't help but be happy about that. This is a good step towards normalizing the series. It means that SFM animators have joined the team. Yes, of course, the toy is, to put it mildly, very far from the original character. In general, if I didn't know that this video was taken from the official Skibidi Toilet page, I would think that this is a fake version of the toy, since there have been toys on the market for over a year that look on par with the original toy with the Hunter. All these 2 years, DafuqBoom has created a work on par with the story of the movie Avatar. After all, the characters in this film were also created by one person. The main characters in the film were invented by James Cameraman. The director did not create the film based on a book or other source material, but created the story entirely from scratch, and we have never seen characters like the avatars anywhere else. He was only inspired by science fiction books and adventure novels. DafuqBoom is practically similar to James Cameron. He created his world from scratch. All the characters were invented by him based on models from Valve, and the plot was special. Yes, it's a primitive confrontation in the action genre, but the point is not that, but that DafuqBoom, that is, Alexei Gerasimov, created his own world with unique characters and a story without any support or budget. But suddenly this support comes along and offers its services. Unfortunately, it was a trap, because now we see what is happening with Skibidi Toilet. Viewers continue to do what they can. They write their opinions, show their appreciation with likes or dislikes, and in general, try to help the series in every way possible. But what are YouTubers doing at this moment? In fact, the situation here is not so good. There are two types: those who leave and do not want to get involved, fearing something, and those who are ready to go all the way. I will not mention names. You already know everything. For example, a few hours ago, one of the streamers named Steak made a small announcement about the whole situation with the series for the first time. Steak is the only streamer who was very close to DafuqBoom, and he gained popularity partly because of Skibidi Toilet. Here's what he wrote on the Discord server.
A lot of people have been asking me to talk about the Skibidi situation with DafuqBoom, so I just wanted to let everyone know my thoughts on it and why I haven't streamed about it. Seems like a lot of people in the Skibidi community think that I forgot them or abandoned them, which is not what happened at all. They are upset that I stream Steal a Brain Rot now instead of Skibidi, and I wanted to talk about this. Message for Skibidi people: what do you guys want or expect me to do? Boom doesn't respond to me anymore. I've messaged him 3 times and I get nothing. Episodes get posted like once every 5 months. What am I supposed to do? A Skibidi stream every day? Like, bro, literally there is no content to stream about, and the fact that everyone is mad at me for not streaming, it really annoys me. I do not want to be a part or have anything to do with the Invis drama. I saw someone post a full-ass entire contract, and that is not a community I want to be involved in. Seems very reckless, and I don't want to talk about it and risk getting sued. The Steal a Brain Rot community has been so much less toxic and nicer to me than the Skibidi people. Skibidi people would get mad at me if I didn't stream a certain leak, and they would never watch any other streams I made unless it was Skibidi, basically the Reddit post. They never watched me play games or do anything else. Steal a Brain Rot community has been so awesome, and they watch like everything I put out, so I'm inclined to stream a lot more Steal a Brain Rot stuff. I will still stream the episodes. I just don't know what else people expect me to stream. There is literally no content. Back when Boom would talk to me, it was a lot easier to do streams and stuff, but he just doesn't anymore. Sorry, guys.
To which EBO replied,
"Yes, Steak, and I'm talking how I feel. I'm sorry for coming up rude, emotional, and corny, but I find especially your reaction triggering. Surely some people disliked you, but it was minority. Most people in community were always hyped when you and Boom chatted, when new leaks dropped. Your reactions were amazing, your dad's reactions were amazing. It felt like there was a family in our community. You grinded for leaks on treadmill, and it was a lot of fun. And do you remember how much hype you generated and how much you were featured as a character in Fanmades and as an Easter egg in Skibidi Toilet itself? You can't deny that at this point you have become essential and irreplaceable part of Skibidi Toilet and its community. You're much more than just a passing by guy or another reaction channel. You are the chosen one. I'm not to tell what you should or shouldn't do or say. You're a free man. But when times for Skibidi Toilet are difficult, people speak up. Majority of people naturally wait for your support and response on this situation, which is probably the worst situation this community has ever been. And your first public reaction being, I don't want to be involved in your drama and BTW, you're all toxic and steel brain rot community is better, is just diminishing and very disrespectful after all we've been through. You're entitled to whatever your opinion is, but I want to let you know that response like this is way more hurtful to community than you think. In these hard times, we must seize the opportunity to form a new union, and you deflect reasonable reaction and distance yourself as if it meant nothing to you. This is what made me upset.
It's up to you to decide who is right, but there were also several other statements from other YouTubers.
There's basically an apocalypse going on in the fandom right now, and Invis doesn't seem to care. All they think about is money. I'll explain everything in more detail later, but I just hope that someday people will actually listen, and that the old days, when Boom himself directed every episode, will come back. Though honestly, that hope feels like it's fading more and more each day. I don't know what kind of consequences I might face for saying this. Maybe they'll even try to hit me with a strike, since the contract forbids me from saying anything against them. But if anyone tries to silence me, I'll keep you updated. A lot of what's happening is still within the so-called alliance, but I can tell you a bit about what's going on with the Fan-Made Club, the group Invis licensed to make Skibidi Toilet content. From the Invis side, it's been nothing but confusion and denial. It feels like they don't even have a plan. Everyone's contradicting each other. David LB, the producer, and probably the one behind Emergence, keeps shutting people down in the Alliance whenever anyone dares to criticize something. Even when I shared my opinion, he came into my DMs with passive-aggressive messages, basically hinting that I should delete what I said. Earlier today, me and other creators had a call with Invisible Narratives. After that call, my faith in them dropped even lower. I couldn't get a straight answer about where Boom is or what his actual role in Emergence is supposed to be. They can't seem to decide whether he's very busy or just taking a rest. As of now, Skibidi Toilet's fate is in the hands of corporate suits and out-of-touch people like Adam Goodman, who clearly have no idea what the spirit of Skibidi Toilet even is. They're talking about continuing the original storyline, like episode 80 and beyond, in SFM, and they say it's coming soon, but they don't even know who's going to animate it. They also plan to pump out more content like Emergence, which they still somehow believe was good. My disappointment with Invis goes far beyond creative decisions. I actually worked for them on 79p3, and because of my material situation, I was looking to receive some payment. But no contract for working on the series was ever signed with me. Instead, I was offered another job with very poor conditions, where the payment was supposed to be made only once for 8 episodes. In the contract I signed to obtain the right to use the license for filming Skibidi-related content, there was also a clause that prohibited me from speaking out against Invisible Narratives in any way. I assume Boom had the same clause in his contract, which may be the reason why Boom is staying silent. I'm far not the only Skibidi Toilet creator Invis has done this to. This whole situation is awful. I feel like I have no choice but to start planning my exit from the Skibidi Toilet fandom. I've never seen this level of frustration and disappointment in the community before. It really feels like it's officially over. They're killing Skibidi Toilet for good.
My opinion is that, honestly, Skibidi Toilet has lost its path totally. It wasn't planned to everything end so soon this way. Invis was completely fine by just doing merch and promotions. But the day they started touching the animation topic, that's when things started going downhill. And I knew this already. The first time they ever announced another engine being used for the series, I was for sure nothing good was gonna come out of that. I'm sure people were expecting something similar like Dear from Ohio type quality. But in the end, it just crushed our illusions completely. And from what I think, Boom is surely not involved in Emergence. If Boom was involved in it, why don't they just let him voice his own character? Isn't Secret Agent supposed to be his OC after all? And what's up with the first TV man dying to a single astroblast? Knowing Boom, well enough I'm sure that he wouldn't just let all of those inaccurate things slide like nothing, since Boom is very perfectionist with his work, and there's gotta even be a reason at why Invis is silencing him, as if they don't want him to expose certain things, which makes it strange, especially when looking back at that mail where Boom is calling for help, as some fans say. Honestly, I don't even know what to think about this situation anymore. For me, it seems like the end of Skibidi Toilet. As time passes, Boom's channel is slowly gonna start dying. Due to this content farm dynamic that is going on right now, Invis is killing everything, and if they don't manage to do something good and listen to the people for once, then it might be the total end for this series. It hurts to say it, but there's nothing else we can do about it. Neither Boom can do anything. Only time will decide what happens next. Wish some luck for the life of this series, y'all. We can't give up.
This is very bad. Boom is the face of Skibidi Toilets, as silly as that may sound. Without him, Skibidi content will die completely. No matter what so-called professionals take on the work, they won't succeed. Those who got the rights to Skibidi can only hope that Boom doesn't create a new series, because the fans will immediately follow him. We know Boom, and his silence is not typical of his behavior, so we're sure he was forced to stay quiet. We're also afraid that this content will die without him. Like all other bloggers, we want him to come back.
Lately, terrible things have been happening with ST. The quality has dropped, the story's potential has been completely lost. Apparently, Boom is no longer the director and animator of the series. I think it's obvious to all of you that Boom had nothing to do with Emergence 1 or the latest compilation. I know Boom well enough to say that his perfectionism would never allow an episode with such poor quality to be released. Moreover, as many in the fandom have pointed out, he didn't even voice his own character, the Secret Agent, who has been his OC for many years. If he didn't even voice him, that means he had absolutely 0% involvement in the episode. Boom's channel is turning into a content farm, and I think I'll stop working on the No Cap channel if nothing changes at some point. But if Boom returns to cooking the series like before, I'll definitely reconsider that decision.
I'd also like to share my opinion about the current situation. I think it's no secret to anyone that Skibidi Emergence is completely unnecessary and an absolute failure. Everything about it is bad. The animation, the story, the script, the graphics, and most importantly, the characters no longer feel like themselves. I don't want the same thing to happen to the original series. Even if it continues in SFM, without Boom, it won't be the same Skibidi Toilet that I and many others fell in love with. What I'm getting at is that if Boom doesn't return to making episodes, then, following No Cap, I might also leave the fandom. But don't worry, for those waiting for Part 3, it will come. I'll finish the What If projects that were already in progress. What If 77 Part 3 will be released. In any case, I want to say thank you to all of you for being with me and with us all this time. That said, I'm not planning to leave right now. I'll complete all the animations I've been working on all this time. What happens next? We'll see. But to be honest, I don't have much hope that everything will go back to how it was. I just hope for change, and that we, as a fandom, won't have to flee from the sinking ship that Skibidi Toilet has become. In my opinion, only Boom can make that ship sail like it used to.
I'd like to lay down my opinion on the current situation of Skibidi Toilet and what's been happening recently with the new Skibidi Toilet, Emergence, the Fandom, DafuqBoom, and Invisible Narratives. Like everyone else, I was completely shocked when I saw Emergence. It was poorly made, the animation, plot, models, overall vibe. It just wasn't what anyone expected. It didn't feel like something Boom would make or approve of. I had the same reaction as everyone. I didn't like it, and I started questioning everything, wondering if the series was doomed. Then I decided to dig deeper and try to understand both sides. Here's what the situation really looks like. You can clearly see in the Emergence video itself that Boom is credited as executive producer. That does not mean he directed it or wanted it to look like that. After understanding the situation more fully, I'm convinced Boom is not the actual producer or the one behind the plot of Emergence. That's what I think, at least. It was directed by someone else who clearly doesn't understand Skibidi Toilet that well. And yes, that's a huge mistake and a real problem, but it's also the first episode of a new side series. Mistakes tend to happen. All I and the community ask is that someone who truly understands the series, its lore, and its identity gets to direct Emergence, since it's a side series tied directly to the main plot. It needs proper care in terms of story, pacing, and tone. I'm not siding with Invis or the community. I'm just laying down a logical solution that could actually fix this tension between both sides. If this is figured out, and the creative team receives strong direction on how to accurately execute Boom's unique style and pacing to make it feel as amazing as the original series, or even if it takes a different approach, that's fine. It just needs to be unique, well-made, and fit the DNA of the series. Look at Marvel, for example, or other big franchises. They have different films with different tones, characters, and directors, yet they still pull huge numbers because they keep the essence of what makes the franchise special. Skibidi Toilet can do the same. Now, regarding episode 80, I can confirm it's going to be made in SFM, so basically nothing major will change. We'll still get our usual episodes just like before. The only difference is that Boom used to make everything almost entirely by himself, with little to no help, which exhausted him over the years. He was basically grinding solo, making this peak show and writing it all alone, and he built this incredible community which is honestly insane when you think about it. But eventually, anyone would burn out. It's natural. From now on, there will be a team around Boom making episode 80 under his direction, hopefully, and everything should stay the same creatively. As of now, Boom is on a well-deserved trip to Japan and Korea to chill and have fun after years of grinding. He totally deserves it. Nobody should criticize a hard-working man for taking some rest. He hasn't been kidnapped by Invis or locked in a basement. He's just taking a break. Invis is going to manage things more from now on, while Boom focuses on other projects, probably still Skibidi related. So please, no need to panic or call it the end. Now, about the random uploads on Boom's channel, I actually agree that they're unnecessary, kind of useless, and might hurt the channel's momentum. But from a business point of view, they're somewhat understandable. Boom's uploads are very spaced out, usually once every couple of months, so Invis might be trying to keep the channel active. 117 that said, posting random compilations and commentaries isn't the best solution. Invis should instead focus on creating actual new content, side animations, fan collaborations, character backstories, or even fun bloopers, things that would genuinely keep people engaged and excited. If you don't like the new uploads, just ignore them and wait for the next real episode, like before. If you really think about it, there's no reason for everyone to go to war or rage against Boom or Invis. Nothing big has changed, except that we got a random side series and a few extra uploads. You can just ignore what you don't like and enjoy what you do. The main series is still being made in SFM, and we'll still have our classic Skibidi Toilet episodes like always. I really hope everyone who reads this understands that peacefully. Let's all unite again and not quit or abandon the series we've loved for so long just because of a small shift. Change is always hard to accept at first, but with time, we'll adapt and eventually laugh at how dramatic this all felt.
Share this video everywhere you can so that those who hold the fate of Skibidi Toilet in their hands will see it. The Super Cameraman was with you. Don't give up. See you very soon. Good luck to everyone, and bye for now.